now off to introduce Victor Calise. Victor, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Do you hear me?
Oh, what a colorful room, Victor. Oh, my God. Well, I'm very happy to introduce Victor. I mentioned his name before. He used to be the commissioner of New York City for rights of people with disabilities, and since then has moved on to Walmart, but stayed our friend and definitely our inspiration. Very impressive close-up. I'm impressed, Victor. I'm impressed. I'm coming over. So today he is the Director of Global Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Walmart's Accessibility Center of Excellence. And he's going to share with us promoting inclusion in Walmart.
Thank you, Michal. Thank you, everyone. Great to be here and talk about some of the work in my new position here at Walmart. And our goal is really to become the most accessible omni-channel retailer for people with disabilities. And omni-channel means that people come to us to look for different ways to shop in retail, either that be through online, in-person, pickup, anything that the store has to offer. We want to make sure that people have the ease and ability to get to it. Now, we employ, what I have found out since my start at Walmart, that we are a big employer. We employ over 1 million people in the United States of America and about over 2 million people around the world. We have stores in the United States, about 5,000 of them, stores in Canada, Chile, Mexico, and India. So we have a pretty large reach. We know that there are a billion people around the world, and we want to make sure that we become one of the most accessible places for people to work. We're doing that in a lot of different ways. Number one is looking at our physical spaces. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, workspaces don't need to be accessible, only a path of travel to it. And everything else is triggered by an accommodation. So when we're thinking about our built environment, we want to make sure that we are building in an inclusive environment, making sure that when we remodel our stores, that we have inclusivity built for our associates. We call employees associates here at Walmart, and we want to be the most accessible place to work. And those are some of the goals that we're working towards now, is looking and assessing our built environment so we can build with inclusive design principles that run across the disability spectrum. Now, employment is important, but it's also self-ID is important. Self-ID is something that I never used to be a fan of, because I figured companies, specifically like Walmart, should be able to just employ people with disabilities and not really have to look within. But the reason why I'm for self-ID right now is really to be able to give the tools that a person with a disability needs to succeed in the workplace. Now, in America, when we say the word accommodation, it automatically brings up this idea that it needs to go through a legal process for somebody to get the tools that they need. We're shifting and looking at what investments we could make in a person with a disability so they are able to get the things that they need when they need it and how they need it without going through this lengthy accommodation process. So we're looking through tools that we can add into technology that people can just simply get. We're looking at ways that we can add, if people need sign language interpretation or captioning on demand, about how quickly and easily people can get that. We're looking at visual interpretation into our stores, so associates can be able to get that visual interpretation on spot without having to going through the accommodations. So really looking through what we offer and how we build investments into what people with disabilities need. We, as mentioned, hire a lot of people, and we want to make sure that we hire people throughout our stores and throughout our offices as well. And that requires a lot of work. We have jobs from entry level to mid-level to managers to senior vice presidents and so on. And we want to make sure that we hire people with disabilities through all of that, not just at entry level jobs. So we've taken on a couple of different ways to be able to do this approach. And we started off small. I think small is really good to be able to build proof of concept. We put out, we've had some retail jobs, specifically forward-facing customer service jobs that we've had. And over a 2-month period, we recruited for people with disabilities. And out of the jobs that we put out, we hired 50% of the people that applied for those jobs. And they were all remote jobs, and that's something that people with disabilities are looking for at this point in time. And we were able to hire and build accommodations, investments into the things that people needed throughout that. That's just one small approach that we did. It was small in scale. And then what we're doing is we built that proof of concept, and we're moving it on to help them wellness jobs. We're moving it on to regional jobs, which is specifically in stores. And this is the way that we are moving forward in working to employ people with disabilities. Now, we cannot do this alone. We can't just put an email out and say we're looking for you to hire and expect people with disabilities to come. So what we are doing is partnering with vocational rehab facilities, which are throughout the United States of America, and have a consortium of them to be able to push those jobs out and look specifically for the people that we're working with. Also, we are moving forward on procuring people that have disability talent. We are also working with nonprofit organizations to find the talent, because we know that it's not just about one person with a disability, but across the disability spectrum. How do we employ for people who are neurodiverse, people with hearing loss, who are deaf, people with visual disabilities, and people with physical disabilities? So these are the things that we're looking to do at Walmart, looking to employ people with disabilities on a large scale over time, looking to make sure that we self-ID so we can give people the tools that they need to succeed in the workplace, and making sure that our facilities are accessible to our associates. This is a journey, as everyone would know, and some of the things that I've heard and some of the things that I've seen today about collaborating with others, making sure that accessible options are available, and we will have more to report over time. This is just the way that we're moving things forward. Excited to be in this place and be able to share the things that we're going to be doing over time with all of you. So, Michal, I know you got a lot going on today. You're behind schedule. I think I'll just stop there. I want to say thank you for including me, and I'm looking forward to seeing people in the future.
Great. Victor, thank you very much. And we'll talk about the background in the near future. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
And it's not a virtual background. It's actually.
I know. I totally know.
we have a lot of them in these offices. This is just one of them, Michal.
Very good. Thank you very much.